Yo, this is Justin Tuck, and I am here with the guy, 2-6, Antrel Rolle, and this is the All In Podcast. And we're celebrating 10 years of that thing right there, Super Bowl 46. 10 years.
Does it feel that long?
Does that mean that we old now?
Oh, we definitely old.
Okay.
We old.
Because I've always had this thought in my head that if the Giants said Justin, we're gonna give you $10 million to come out and play third down, I can still do it. I don't think I can do it.
It's gone.
I want to keep that facade alive though.
I think mine left a long time ago.
Listen, man. I mean, 10 years, right?
We look like we can play though.
I mean, that's the point.
We look like we look like we can get it. We can fool some people.
Hey, listen, man. I think I can still do it though. No, but on a serious note, right? We're here to kind of reminisce on that season. I think what the legacy of the New York Giants has always been about the defense, right? If you think about the names that came before us, right? The LTs, the Carsons, the Carl Banks, the Michael Strahans, right. And so on and so forth. So many of those names. That was kind of our first conversation about leading this defense and getting us back to that promised land. I was kind of like the captain on the defense that had been here, had grew up in the Giants way. Antrel, obviously, it came from another team, other ways, had his ways of doing things, which had made him uber successful, right?
Well, for me, I think just speaking on what you were talking about as far as the leadership and the captain role, we had huge responsibilities, and you were raised in the Giants uniform. I came from Arizona. Coming to New York, that was a totally different change of pace for me, and we led in different roles. You were more quiet in your approach. I was more loud in my approach, but we still got the same things done. You knew what you needed from your guys. I knew what I needed from mine, and collectively, we formed a pretty damn good unit.
So yeah, let's get into the season, man. Obviously, we start off really strong. I think we started off 6-2. I think if I'm not mistaken, right? We got out to a fast start. And in Giants fashion, for some reason, we always hit these roller coasters, right? Just what do you remember about, obviously the start of the season, the excitement around it, but again, we found a way to kind of hit some bumps in the road, right. And how we kind of adjusted from that.
We started out 6-2. We were rolling. We were banging, and sure enough, 4 in a row.
I don't remember in the order, but San Francisco, we should have won that game out there. We had Green Bay at home, had them on the ropes. Obviously Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers
things.
Man, on that last second drive. New Orleans, we had a really good game plan, but it didn't matter what we did. They just was a step faster. They were just a play ahead, whatever you want to call it, man. We just never had any luck with them. I think, who was it, Philly? I think we lost. That was a part of the 4 in a row. And for 4 weeks, man, we didn't pull the right cards, right? At that moment, the locker room was clashing, right? We were all upset at each other, right? And like we said, in good times, me and Trell had conversations to figure out how we were gonna, convey the game plan to our,
right.
Our team. And in bad times, we had those conversations. And what I loved about Trell was we could get into heated conversations, right? But it never left that moment, right? It was all right, listen, we're not seeing eye to eye on this or whatever it may be, but we never left that circle or that moment or that room without figuring out, all right, how do we move forward?
Right.
But for some reason or another, it was never a moment where it was any pointing of the fingers. I think that's one of the reasons why we came out of that lull. Because it's easy, we've all been a part of it. It's easy to kind of, once the ship starts sinking, it's easy to point the fingers and that ship just goes down.
Easy.
So,
it's easy
and that never happened.
We were too tight for that. And more importantly, we had too much respect for one another for it to ever get to that point. Listen, if it ain't working, it's not working. But we're going to find a way to fix it. And I think that's something that we believe in. That's something that we all knew. And then we had other guys too, the Deion Grant.
Hey, Texas! Hey, Rob! You third! Hey! Watch the angle out!
He played a huge role, man. He would never get enough credit for the role, that he played in the team that year.
Yep.
You had guys like OC. We had so many guys Webby, you know, Webby was a lot like you. You know, Webby was a lot like you. Webby would be there, you know, in the corner, and he'll hey Trill, you know, and he'll give you that little whisper.
Yep.
But that whisper, you know, it spoke volumes.
We had so many unsung heroes. Like we were talking about Chase Blackburn.
Let's go!
He came on the team in November.
He
was a substitute math teacher, I think, in Ohio, where we went out and got him.
The opposite side of X's and O's that we want.
Yeah, obviously, you know, just thinking about some of the plays that he made, not only in the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl running up, right?
They dump it off in the left flat for Ryan Grant, and he runs out of a couple of tackles. Fumble the football. It's picked up by Blackburn. He's running with it to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and he's down at the 4.
That experience, you know, for us to have with him and Mike Boley.
Hey, it's the little details. Hey, the details. Let's get this right, man. Hey, right where we want it. It's on us.
I mean, there's so many guys that, like, you know, obviously we kind of, you know, when people think of that team, they think of, you know, certain, you know, small subset of guys, but like it was such a collective, right? You know, it was games that I didn't play my best. And Kiwi stepped up, David Tolson stepped up, Rocky Bernard, Canty. I mean, like, I still think of Canty, man. He was my draft. He was our draft cast. But like, I remember him in the recruiting process, trying to get him from Dallas and telling him to come to a real team. Yeah, I always got to take a shot at Dallas. Y'all know that. But yeah, I mean, like, just being a part of all of those guys, knowing that any given Sunday, any given week, you had so much talent, so much experience, so much from the perspective of guys who are willing to lay it on the line and not necessarily have to be the guy who got the reward or the fanfare.
It's like you say, you know, we have so many unsung heroes, and they don't care that their name is called. You know, they don't care. You know, I think it was more so about what it took, you know, what it took to get to that moment. And us as a unit, it was 2 games left in the season, and we had so much uncertainty. We had people that were beat up. I mean, listen, I'll be the first to admit, we had people that were literally banged up, and you know, so you know, crucial injuries. But I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care. You know, because now we're 7-7. You know, according to the stats, you know, we're a mediocre team. But we got 2 chances, you know, to get into the playoffs. And that's what it was about, man. And I told, listen, we can't have nobody on the sideline. I don't care who it is. It don't matter who it is. I don't care about your injury. We need everybody. I need to know what this guy is thinking. I have to know what this guy is thinking. I gotta have him here. If we're gonna go make this run, everybody has to be held accountable, because that's the only way we're gonna win. We weren't good enough at that moment to just win just off pure talent.
Yep.
That wasn't gonna happen.
And that challenge to the team, man, I think obviously resonated very well. That goes back to something I was saying earlier about the team saw the kind of, I don't know what the right phrase is, not the coming around of Antrell, but like I said,
it was that.
But still though, like you did it in a way that, you know, a lot of times when you become captain, right? The knock on a captain is you're a company guy, right? Because obviously we're talking to coach.
Yeah.
We're talking to, you know, me, you, Eli, and all.
You got different insight.
You know what I'm saying? We got to go back and share these insights, these comments with coach, and figure out, you know, what's best for the team, right? So like you can become that company guy where like guys don't trust you to like give their true self.
Right.
So like how you did it though. Like, my hat's off to you, because I didn't necessarily know how to do it because I grew up in this system, right? You did it in a way that just like when you said something, they knew it was the heart. It wasn't coming from Coughlin. It wasn't coming from management. It wasn't coming from the GM. That was 2-6 talking, and it was real.
Let's go out here and be great, man. Let's go out here and hit. Let's go out here and stick. Let's go out here and bust it.
I was trying to be this guy, right? Like all year long, you know, the teammate that I needed to be, the teammate that everyone wanted me to be. There came a point in time where I couldn't hold that in anymore.
And it guys resonated. So when you challenge the team, man, I think, yeah, we were beat up. Yeah, we were kind of licking our wounds at that point. 7-7, we got to go on this run again, right? And we did it. A lot of people don't know this, but like, you talked about us being prepared. I think the biggest part of our preparation, obviously our coaching staff did a great job, but the biggest part of our preparation was when the intensity in which those secondary meetings became. After practice, we were getting that locker. Getting the defensive meeting room, and like at first it was just you and the secretary, right?
Correct.
And then when we get on that slide, you just started seeing more guys take more time out. You see the linebackers come in, you see the D-line come in, right? And just being able to have that 30-odd people. Give our perspective of what the defense looked like. Obviously, the coaches had their perspective, right? But we got to go out there and execute it. So you leading that and just it growing to be what it grew to be, I think was kind of an unsung hero of what helped us come out of that lull, right? You talk about the last 2 games of the season having to beat
the Jets
in our stadium, in
our
home.
stadium.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because I think one thing, obviously, we haven't talked a lot about offense, but that is probably one of the more memorable plays within our season is Victor Cruz in the 99-yarder.
Manning back to throw. Looks, throws one to the right, completes it to the right for a first down, and running out of a tackle down the right sideline is Victor Cruz. Chased by Smith, hurdles over him, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Giants, 99 yards!
Before that play happened, it was kind of like a little tug-of-war match. Nobody was doing anything.
No.
And then, all of a sudden, we get the Salsa King himself. He get that 99-yarder, and boy, like when I tell you that electric shock just went, like I became a different person.
Yeah.
Right?
We all did.
Like,
yeah.
That dog woke up. It woke up. It woke us up. And from that moment on, we were clicking.
But after that play, you didn't hear another JETSS, whatever that's dumb fight song is. You didn't hear any of that later, right? After that, it was all big blue crowd, right? And obviously it was a home game, but then it started to feel like a home game, and we just built on that. Obviously, the defense built on that. We started hitting Sanchez, and I think JPP got a sack right after that. The next drive, Canty got sacks. We had. The secondary flying around. That defense just started to fly around, right?
We went to swarming.
And it became that team effort. And when you think about how we won games going forward, it was exactly that.
Yeah.
Right? It was that spark. Someone gave a spark.
First playoff game in MetLife Stadium. Can't get no better weather. Can't get no better team. Can't get no better teammates. All in today. That's all we got. We ain't got nothing to save it for. If you don't put it all in today, you taking your ass home. And I don't want to go home.
But if you think about the Atlanta game, right? Us having them 4th down stops.
Oh, yeah, 4th and 1.
Right?
We had 2. We had 2 4th and 1 stops.
4th and inches. They're showing power formation. Not going to snap it. He does go for it.
He ain't get it. He ain't get it. He did not get it.
And they did not get it.
Here comes Ryan to the line, 4th and inches. Empty backfield, Jones in motion, Ryan's gonna keep it. He got stopped, he didn't get there! Second time today, they've been stopped on 4th and inches by the Big Blue defense.
Those 2 stops obviously got the crowd super, because that's what hearing that defense chant, those white flying towels. I
forgot about the white towels.
Yeah, I feel like I'm somewhat of a historian of the Giants playoff runs, and I just remember seeing those towels in playoff runs in previous years, right? And getting the opportunity to witness that on the football field, man, that was electrifying. And then obviously Akeem did what he did, and it was a wrap.
Takes the snap, he's back to throw. Steps up over the middle, Nix wide open at the 40. 45, runs through a tackle. There goes Nix, gallops over another. He's going to score. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Giants. 72 yards.
The game felt easy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think I got tired.
Yeah, we were different. We were different animals, and we were animals that were, we were looking to hunt. And we didn't care what our offense did. That's the craziest part about it. Like, we didn't care what they did. Just think about it. They didn't even get in field goal range.
Nah.
They didn't get in field goal range.
I felt like we knew what they were going to do.
We knew.
And even if we didn't know what we was going to do, I just knew we had 11 guys on the same page at one time. That wasn't the case early in the season. Right. But we had got to that point.
New York Giants are on to the divisional round and a trip to Green Bay against the Packers.
We go to Green Bay.
New York playoff football is on the air as the Giants take on the Green Bay Packers.
There's 32 teams in this league. Guess how many at home? That's right, baby. But guess what? We not.
We win Green Bay going away, honestly. I mean, like, that game shouldn't have been as close as it was.
Fastball over the middle, caught inside Packer territory. Nix runs out of a tackle. He's to the 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Giants. Manning back, steps up, heaves one down the middle of the field into the end zone, and Nix makes the catch for the touchdown. He went up with the big hands and caught it on the Hail Mary.
Yeah, the score does not showcase how bad we beat them. In this playoff game, I don't say we were laughing, but it was times we came in the huddle, it was like, man, 3 plays and Eli getting the ball back.
Manning back, throws back in the end zone, and it's caught by Manningham for the touchdown on the post. Handoff Jacobs, cuts back to the right. Jacobs turns the corner at the 10. He's to the 5, to the goal line, touchdown Giants. And that 14-yard run most likely has sent the Giants to San Francisco and the NFC Championship game.
6:30 Sunday, San Francisco, here we come.
From high atop a rainy Candlestick Park in San Francisco, California, it's the NFC Championship game as the New York Giants take on the San Francisco 49ers.
Going back to San Francisco, we had obviously faced them early in the season, came up short. I had a personal battle with an O-lineman there that I wanted some revenge. I'll just leave it at that. But going out there, what were your thoughts?
They weren't the most talented group that we have faced in that postseason offensively, right?
Not even close.
But on that other side of the ball,
that defense was legit.
The defense was legit.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about, they had headhunters. That front seven was, oh my God.
Alvin Smith.
Yeah. Oh,
the
man.
other Smith.
Yeah.
Patrick Willis.
Navarro Bowman. Brooks.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks. Then you had Deshaun Golson at safety.
Yeah.
Carlos Rogers in the slot.
Yeah.
Listen, they were loaded.
And Rogers was the self-proclaimed crew stopper.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't work out.
Yeah, that didn't work out for him.
I love you, Los, but
yeah, but that didn't work out. That didn't work out for him.
Manning and Cruz are just playing flag football right now. They're playing absolute pitch and catch.
Pitch and catch. You're going to have to find a way to get Carlos Rogers some help on it. I know he's the Pro Bowl corner, and Cruz is just having his way with him right now.
Cruz at 112 yards on 7 catches already.
I can't cover no option route all day. Like, if I go inside, the man running outside. Right. You know what I'm saying?
The thing I worried about, which happened with us, is just fluke Vernon Davis.
Smith over center, tight eye behind him. He drops straight back to throw. He's looking for a deep ball down the right sideline, and he's got Vernon Davis. He's to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Niners. 73 yards.
That play, Vernon Davis out wide.
Yep.
He's running the go route. Coach put me out there specifically for him.
Yeah.
For him. And I had my eyes in the backfield. I was watching the show. I was watching the parade. I don't know what I was watching. I was watching everything except for the man I needed to be watching, right?
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because it was like a slow motion for me. I'm like, I see Alex Smith caught back and just throw the ball, and I'm like,
where's he throwing it?
Yo, Vernon Davis had ate my cushion up, ran past me, and I was still looking in the backfield. I was watching y'all show.
Yeah.
You know, and that was just bad play on my behalf. And I remember after that play, I remember going to Coach Perry after that, and I went to him, and I said, "That's my bad. Don't change nothing. I got this."
Yeah. I know you said to Perry, "Don't touch anything. Keep doing what we're doing," but we made little tweaks.
Right.
Just little tweaks, and that's what we were always good at, right? Because the communication within that team was so great, right? It wasn't like you came to the sideline and was like pissing yourself, walked off and did anything, and be like, pouting. No, you went right up and said, "Listen, coach, my bad, blah, blah, blah." But like later on in the game, obviously they're making adjustments, we're making adjustments.
Right.
And, again, we haven't talked enough about about Perry and the defensive unit from the coach's perspective. But that's one thing I thought, having the leadership that we had in the team, they trusted us. They trusted our opinions.
They trusted us a lot.
Sacked by Pierre Paul and Justin Tuck back at the 24-yard line.
What about the brutal just Eli, man, listen.
I forgot about that.
Listen.
How he just got beat up that game.
Listen. I kept saying to myself, that's it. He ain't getting up.
Yeah.
He's done.
Bruh.
Like, he's done. You put any of the other 31 quarterbacks in that game,
They quit.
they quit, and it's a different outcome.
Yeah, I've seen.
I said one person and one person only could do what he did in that game, and that was Eli.
Manning back to throw. He zips one to the left to the end zone. Touchdown Giants. Mario Manningham. And the Giants are back in front with 8:34 to go.
Just watching him quietly be the assassin that he was.
Oh, man.
But if you look at how he performed in the biggest moments,
I'm taking
that season he had 8 fourth quarter comebacks, right?
Yeah,
I think it was
right.
8.
8 fourth quarter comebacks, yeah.
That's crazy. We only won 9 games, or
I'm taking them every time.
Tynes gets set from 31 yards to put the Giants in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Snap is low. Kick on its way. It's got the distance, and it is good! And Lawrence Tynes has done it again. He's kicked the Giants to the 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years.
Where are we going now? I mean,
There's only one show.
There's only
one show after that.
What's after the NFC Championship? Oh yeah, that good old bowl.
46.
I just know how hungry you were, and this is what my fear was.
Hungry.
This is what my fear was. For those of us who had won it once, it's easy from a human perspective to say, well, man, I already got one, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was going through my head all week, right? How do I figure out a way to challenge these dudes that have one, right?
Right.
And we ain't got to talk about, but the speech I gave was like, you don't know what it feel like.
How mad do y'all want it today? I got a ring. Chris, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Rock, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Limber, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. Boss, you ain't got one. You don't know what it feel like. I'm telling you right now, it's the best feeling in the world. And if it's on me today, you gonna have one after this.
That's what it came from, because honestly, I was thinking about people like you,
right,
who had tasted that defeat, right?
Oh, yeah.
So talk about it from the perspective of now you get this second chance. You get this chance with a team who's, started out the gates, Scott, on fire, hit our lull. We went through our growth together, and now playing the best ball of our lives together, right? I still remember Coach Coughlin saying this was the best practice that we had all year in Super Bowl.
Flying.
And you had a lot to do with that.
We were flying, right? Our practices were honestly perfect.
Fast.
They were perfect.
I mean,
they were perfect practices on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, and I was saying this earlier, our practice squad, our scout team, they got us so prepared for that moment and for that game. The best I've ever seen. The best I've ever been around.
New York Giants football is on the air from high atop Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's the New York Football Giants and the New England Patriots, Super Bowl 46.
All right, let's get into it then. Let's talk about it.
Oh.
So we've always lived for the moment where you set the tone. First play of the game, and I know for a fact they're going to play action pass. It's down here. Tom Brady's not going to come out and run the ball first.
No.
Not here. When he can go, and exactly what I thought he was going to do, he did. He was going for a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wanted to set the tone as well.
Of course.
So I said to myself, I'm just going to get off the ball slow. If they run the ball, my quickness, I can get around and get the edge and so on and so forth. But if it's a pass, he's going to drop back. I'm off the ball slow. That creates space, and then I can kind of finagle my way, right? And sure enough, that's exactly. If you see the play, I kind of hop out of my stance,
boom,
and I just go inside. I see the guard come back, and luckily it worked out because he kind of pushes me into Brady, and we get the safety.
Intentional grounding, the 12. That penalty results in a safety.
We've set the tone right now, right? And then obviously offense comes out and does their thing.
Takes the snap, back to throw. Throws one left. Touchdown Giants. Victor Cruz on the slant.
We're off to the races. This is the game. Your nerves are settled down, right? And because, I don't care who you are, when that first kickoff goes off and you see 80,000 people with those light bulbs flashing or whatever, you kind of stop and stare a little bit. But now from your vantage point, as we have gotten into the game, what are you thinking?
For me, it was like another one of those personal battles, right? I got his guy, which is Wes Welker.
Yep. That's a tough matchup.
That little rabbit, right? Like a rabbit. So my thing was, listen, if I can eliminate him, you know, we got a pretty good shot. But for us, honestly, defensively, in the secondary, our objective and our goal was to keep Brady to 17 points or under. You know, and we did that, you know, and when it was time and when those crucial moments came, we had our big guys up front to set the tempo once again.
We had the personnel. Everybody on that D-line was 6'4" or above, had long arms. I never been this clip where Brady was like, it's like throwing through a forest.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like throwing in a forest, dude. Those guys' arms are like.
If it was OC, it was Tuck, it was JPP, listen, if they weren't getting sacks, they were getting pressure. And for the secondary, we love pressure sometimes more than sacks because we get opportunities.
Yeah,
you know
throw a right ball, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. So, Chase Blackburn, you know, covering the best tight end in football, Gronkowski downfield and getting an interception. Dude was sitting at home. You know, he came to us in November. But when his bell was called, he answered.
Brady calls out the signals. Takes the snap, he's back to throw. He's under pressure, and he's going to get, now he runs out of the sack, and now Brady rolls to his right, throws a deep ball downfield for Gronkowski. Jump ball, intercepted by the Giants. Chase Blackburn picked it off.
That interception, the impact it had on that game, because they're driving.
They're driving.
You know, if they score there, the game is a little different.
It's very different because I think at one point he went on like a 17-0 run, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Well,
so
he was cooking.
He started cooking. I think he completed like 13 or 16 straight passes. Something like that. I know it's a record.
He started
heating up, but we never gave up the big play.
Exactly.
We just played great football, you know, and we didn't get beside ourselves. You know, he had some touchdowns. We had some moments where we didn't play our best football. Mm-hmm. I didn't hear not one piece of bickering on the sideline. You know, everything was positive. Everything was, come on, let's do this. Or let's make this adjustment. Or let's talk. Let's get in our group. Let's talk about what we need to do. We all bought into the same thing. We was on one accord. And that's what allowed us to be as successful as we were, you know, defensively.
3:46 to go. One timeout and a 2-minute warning. We've seen something like this before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
You know, I got asked a question. If I had one game to win it off, I had one game, who would I take? I told him I'd rather take Eli Manning.
In those moments, he makes the play that needs to be made.
This is still a Cruz and Nick's game. Like that ball that goes through your hands, the snag, the Cruz. I mean, I know we're right on him, it's tight, but those are still the guys. Make them go to Manningham.
That throw to Mario Manningham.
Manning out of the shotgun set, and he's back to throw. Climbs the pocket, deep ball down the left sideline, and it's going to be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes! Manningham on the sideline.
I tell people all the time, right? Mario didn't catch that ball. He didn't have no choice. That ball was stuck to, like, it hit him in a place where he had no choice but to catch it.
It's there.
And people don't realize how often he practiced that. The trash cans on the sidelines after practice.
Yeah.
He would put up trash cans at 45, 55, 60, whatever, I forget the numbers, right? And he would be out there, and he wouldn't leave the field until he put a certain number of balls right in that trash can. You know how hard that is? With nobody in your face.
Nobody in your face.
He was getting hit and he threw it.
And they coming.
Yeah.
And not only that, the safety broke on that ball so good.
Clean. Yeah. Chung. Patrick.
Oh, man, yes. I was like, oh, my God, he got it.
Only one place he could have picked that ball. And obviously, I give Mario his due, too, because to get his feet down.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, he timed that perfectly.
Knowing you're going to get rocked. You're going to get rocked.
You getting hit. It's funny because I've been in that situation twice, obviously in the Super Bowls, where you got to have that touchdown, that guy go do it, right?
That's crazy.
Never in the moment was I thinking he's not going to do it. And obviously, you know, AB Fofo falls in the end zone.
Hand off Bradshaw, he runs up the middle, and he falls into the end zone for the touchdown. He thought about stopping, but he went in for the touchdown.
I don't think he fell, but
I think he playing that. It's a good moment.
Sorry, though.
But from your vantage point, and I already know the answer to this, but from your vantage point, we That's what we wanted.
We didn't care.
We wanted to end it. We wanted to be
I got
out
asked
there.
that question several times. Like, man, you weren't mad. Listen, I didn't care.
Mad? No, I didn't care. I want this.
Listen, man, listen. We played 58 minutes of hard-nosed football. What's another 2?
Yeah.
Man,
in this game, you're not tired. I might pass out after the game, but in this moment right now,
I did.
You're not tired.
No. We're ready for this.
And I was so excited to step back on that football field because, you know, we all are selfish in our own right. We all want to be that.
Go get it.
We want to be.
Go get it.
We want the ones. We want to be the ones to end it, right?
We want to be the reason why. Right.
You know, I already knew Eli was going to win MVP.
Yeah.
I already knew that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be a part of that group of guys that ended it for us.
You were.
One play away. I can't stay still. I can't stay still. One last play. Need a miracle now.
Giants drop 3 men, 25 yards off the ball.
They better get them all back.
Brady's back. Brady's under pressure. Brady's chased. Brady heaves one down the middle of the field into the end zone.
How long did that ball stay up in the air?
My job was to jam Wes Welker and to pretty much prevent him from running downfield. I don't think I touched Wes. I'm almost pretty sure I didn't touch Wes because Wes was streaking down the field and I was maybe 15 yards behind him. I honestly had noodle legs. I couldn't control it, you know what I mean? I didn't know, but I honestly had noodle legs, and when I'm watching the ball in the air, then I just really start humping it. I start getting it. And I just watched KP, I watched Dion, I watched all them boys just jump for that ball. And I was like, they up there.
A jump ball, and it's incomplete.
And I just see the ball get batted down, and then I see Gronk in front of me.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking, you better scratch, claw, whatever you got to do. If that ball hit his hands, he can't come down with it.
Yep.
And I just remember running up onto him and just swatting. We both hit air, nothing, and listen.
Confetti.
Confetti.
And the ball game's over, and the Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
All in. We will not be denied. World champs.
I'll never forget this. All of you guys were celebrating. And like, you know, when the confetti hits and everybody runs out and blah, 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 blah. I went to the sideline and found a golf cart, one of those flatbed golf carts, and I'm sitting on it by myself. And like, for me, it was such a combination of such a up and down season, such a challenging season, but such a memorable one too, right?
Yeah. Nobody gave us a chance. We were 7-7 going our last 2 games, you know. But when we all bought in, and we were all in, we were all collectively as a unit, we achieved greatness, and we played some of the best ball that I've ever been a part of in my NFL career. And we challenged ourselves, and we did it. We didn't do it for ourselves. We did it for that dude that was next to us, that dude that was dependent on us.
This family here, baby. Oh, this family here, baby. This family here, baby. All love, baby. And you got a ring. You got a ring, too. You got a ring. You got a ring, too. You got a ring.
It wasn't about the hardware. It was about us going out there and showing just who we were as a team. I mean, I knew my brothers beside me. I knew that, you know, I was in the right place.
We started this season off with a theme. The theme was finish. This is an incredible finish to an amazing season.
It is an absolute honor to come out here every Sunday and lay it on the line. You see these guys behind me? Every Sunday, they come out here, they all in. That's why we can say we're #1 in the world. In the world.
Well, listen, man, you know, on behalf of the New York Football Giants, celebrating 10 years of Super Bowl 46, this is the All In podcast. The 2 defensive captains, I hope you learned a little bit more about us personally, but more about the team that we represented, the team that came together to do what we set out to do right at that training camp, win that peach cobbler, that Super Bowl.
That's what it's about.
We obviously always bleed blue. God bless you. Go Giants, and let's get another one of those real soon. Peace.